Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Veeryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ashantasya utas sukham. How can somebody without a tranquil mind expect to be happy? Is the question that Lord Krishna asks. Very pertinent question, because that cessation of agitation in the mind is called Shanti, and that has a direct link to happiness. For the person for whom there is a lot of agitation in the mind, and what is the cause of the agitation? Yes. Any question I ask, you can say Ragadvesha in the Bhagavad Gita and you will be right. The whole of the Bhagavad Gita is Ragadvesha psychology. Always there is something that is gnawing at the heart, gnawing at the mind. Always something to want, something to get rid of, something to do this, that, all these things. So there is no freedom to have tranquility. And so in such a mind, even if Bhagavan himself, herself were to appear, Sakshat, right in front, then also the person will say, oh, the Lord Vishnu, oh, I thought you would have a more sparkling crown. This is a little dull. So, because there is the happiness which is one's own nature is inhibited by the agitation created by strong preferences, strong prejudices. So therefore the entire second half of the second chapter is devoted to management of these twins called Raga and Dvesha. This is what it is. So now the whole thing is going to be summed up. Understanding the connections a little further, verse number 67 says, Indriyanam vicharatam Yammanonu vidhiyate Tadasya harati prajñam. There is no coffee break between Tadasya and Harati, okay? Yeah. Or even Harati and Prajna, actually. Alright, so don't take an unauthorized tea break there, alright? And also, Harati, short E, followed by a compound conjunct consonant. So there is a doubling. So this is how it's Tadasya harati prajñam. Tadasya harati prajñam. Vayurnavamivambhasi. Vayurnavamivambhasi. Tasmad yasya mahabaho. Tasmad yasya mahabaho. Grihitani sarvashaha. Nigrihitani sarvashaha. Indriyani indriyarthebhyah. Indriyani indriyarthebhyah. Tasya prajña pratisthita. Tasya prajña pratisthita. So, Indriyanam, he means indeed, for the people with whose indriyas are on the move. Jagatam Indriyanam. Indriyas are on the move. What are Indriyas? Samosas. Sense organs. Okay. Sense organs are called Indriyas, and when those Indriyas are on the move, means they are not stationary. Why are the Indriyas on the move? Because they have gone hunting. Catch, kill, eat. But this is the Pashu behavior. Pashu means animal. This is what the animal does. In fact, we are worse than animals because animals catch, kill, eat only when they are hungry. We do it all the time. Regardless of whether one is hungry or not, catch, kill, eat. And in fact, when Alexander, which Alexander? Alexander not so great, yeah. When he came to India, he had 3 words are associated with him. What is it? I came, I saw, I conquered. Same thing. I saw, I got, I killed, I ate. This is what it is. Catch, kill, eat mentality that is there, so always on the hunt. Especially if you see carnivorous animals, they have 2 jobs. One is to see what is the prey. Prey is not prey, okay? P-R-E-Y. What is it to catch? They have to see. And the other one is they have to look for predators because they know they are somewhere on the food chain. If they are eating something, they will also be eaten by something else. So they have to be constantly on the alert, constantly on the alert, trying to do this, that and the other. Trying to be very, very cautious, trying to be very, very present, alert. So this catch, kill, eat mentality, it is actually fine in animals because that's how they survive. One fish, big fish, eats the small fish. Big fish is eaten by the bigger fish. This is the law of nature. For who? For animals. If it has spilled over in the human janma, these samskaras must be left behind. Adi Shankara calls this catch, kill, eat mentality as prakrita buddhi. Prakritehe iyam. Prakritam means just as nature made without any interference of home training, civilization, nothing. It's like these people you hear, they have done some experiments. They found one woman in the woods. She had been raised by bears and all these things. And she found the human company unbearable because she had always been with bears. She could not handle anything else totally. And she was only making bear sounds. And she was only eating just like that. You had to give her a plate and she would eat like that. Even though she had hands, she would eat with the mouth. She would tear into things. And they tried to civilize her, they tried to teach her things, manicure, pedicure, nothing worked. Nothing worked. She continued to be suspicious and wary and all these things. So people raised by wolves, they say the city of Rome was built by these 2 brothers, Romus and Romulus, and those 2 brothers were raised by wolves. Maybe they were an exception, right? Yeah, but the rest of but this lady and other people, they don't even survive in human company. They cannot. So that Adi Shankara calls as Prakrita Buddhi. Prakrita Buddhi, which is completely in the catch, kill, eat mentality. Cannot come out of the catch, kill, eat mentality, even though it is in a human body with total free will. I have the ability, God given ability to override the desires. which are not conducive to my pursuits. I have the ability, I have the viveka, I have the ability to have vairagya. Still I am in the catch, kill, eat mentality, means that there is something wrong here. So therefore that has to be addressed properly. And so in a buddhi where that raga dvesha has been tamed down, Adi Shankara calls it Samskrita buddhi. Samskrita buddhi is not a buddhi that can chant Rama Rama Rama, that knows Sanskritam. Samskrita buddhi is a civilized buddhi which is using the free will to override nonsensical ideas, nonsensical desires, nonsensical pursuit, especially when it is shown what is the problem. The problem is not that you don't have anything. The problem is not that you are not catching fast enough. The problem is that you don't know that you already have freedom. That is the problem. You don't know that you are free. So what is the antidote? Knowledge. And so when this is not known, the catch, kill, eat mentality persists even in a human avatara. To look at it's a human being, but the behavior is very animalistic. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunancha, samanyametat, pashubhihi, narana. Ahara means what? Food. Nidra, that which happens in Vedanta class. Nidra, sleep. Bhaya means fear. Maithunam, the capacity to reproduce. Samanyam etat, absolutely identical. Ashubhihi, for the, through the animals, and also for the naras. Pashunam and narana. For the animals also same. For the human beings also same. Dharmo hi etam adhiko vishesha. Dharma is the only differentiation between the animals and the human beings. Dharmena hinaha pashubhis samanaha. Without dharma, as good as what? As good as pashus. And so therefore, these next two verses are cautionary in the sense of summing up the Sthita Prajna section and also summing up the chapter on the management of Raga Dvesha, the second half of the second chapter. So Indriyanam hi charatam. So for the people whose sense organs are always on the lookout, what shall I catch, what shall I eat, what shall I kill? This is the preoccupation. And then it's bad enough that the sense organs have left, have departed. The mind also anuvidhiyate. The mind also follows. Means the mind is not free enough to be with me. The mind has also gone to wade in the deep waters of the objects of desire. And in the deep waters of objects of desire, there are sharks, crocodiles, all kinds of things, dangerous things. And then, tadasya haratik prajnam. So, even the fledgling knowledge, fledgling means a bird which is just getting ready to fly. It doesn't know quite how to fly. It has baby bird, baby wings. The wings are not strong enough. And so one's knowledge is like those wings of the baby bird. Want to fly away. I have moksha, yippee, yay, now I know. Second chapter I have studied. I am on my way. See you everybody. I'm gone. I'm departing. But then what? The indriyas left to go catch, kill, eat mentality. The mind also left. And the buddhi also went. And then what happened to the knowledge? The fledgling baby knowledge fell flat on its face like the baby bird. And then he gives a tadasya haratik prajna. He gives a different example. Vayuhu navam iva ambhasi. Ambhas, water. Ambhasi, in the waters. Vayuhu, wind. Navam, what is Nava? Boat. A small boat in the huge ocean, and it is going, maybe, you see some on the Ganga when we go for walk, we see nowadays, no, all the rafts have gone, bye bye. Ganga is too strong for any rafts. And so, but before, a month ago, before the monsoons came, we saw them, and we saw people paddling with the oars and everything. And suppose the rafts were there now, what would happen? The action of the wind, the action of the water will capsize the boat. The boat will go belly up, upside down. And so the boat is the prajna. The boat you think is strong enough to carry you, but because of the newness, it's not that you don't know, but because the raga dveshas are not fully managed, because the homework is still needing to be done, what is happening? The boat of self-knowledge, the fledgling self-knowledge capsizes. And then you wonder what happened. I know I'm not the body, but I'm sure very cold and wet. What is going on? I know I'm not the mind. How did this happen? And so one is surprised because one underestimates this knowledge. One underestimates the force of the raga dveshas like the wind, and one overestimates oneself. So this is not a very good combination, and that's why tadasya harati prajna. Prajna means this fledgling knowledge which is just coming, this baby knowledge. The baby knowledge is taken away because it is baby. Helpless it is. It is not able to protect itself. It's not able to mount a defense. It's not able to do that. Vayuhu navam iva ambhasi. Very nice illustration here, like a boat that capsizes. Tasmat, therefore, asya mahabaho. Asya purushasya, for this person who he is going to talk about, any person, for any person, mahabaho. Mahabahu means O you mighty armed Arjuna. This is as they say in modern lingo, this is throwing shade. Yeah, throwing shade, trolling. You must have heard these words, Yeah. Throwing shade means what? Saying like this: hey, you mighty armed one in the battlefield, yeah, nobody can come near you. You can look at somebody and they run away. You can look at somebody and they suddenly have to go to the bathroom. This is how frightened you make them. But then, where the raga dveshas are concerned, these mighty arms are of no use at all. Where the raga dveshas are concerned, these big arms that you have, full of bulging triceps, biceps, deltoids, whatever all other muscles there are, no use. Because the raga dveshas cannot be combated with physical force. What do they need? Mental force, emotional mastery, mental mastery. Fine, you are Mahabahu, alright, but transfer this to the mind. Have that strength. Transfer it to the mind. Don't be in this kind of a thing where you are all brawn, no buddhi, no brain. And so make the mind strong, make the buddhi strong. Tasmad yasya mahabaho indriyani, what? Sarvashah. No, what is that? Nigrihitani sarvashah. Nigrihitani indriyani sarvashah. Nigrihitani, managed, sarvashah, all sides. It's not that I have conquered the eyes. Now, but anything I hear through my ears, I have no mastery over. No, all the sense organs. Or one can say, I have conquered the eyes and the ears, but the tongue keeps wanting things. And so Nigrihitani Sarvashah, on all sides, with regard to every desire, there is freedom and mastery. We are not talking of desire elimination, we are not talking of desire control. What are we talking about? Desire management. Getting a degree in desire management is the sum total of the message of the Bhagavad Gita. You get a PhD in desire management. And then Nigrihitani Sarvashah, then Indriyani Indriyarthebhyah. So the ability to cut the connection between the sense organs and the sense objects, that is what is the main thing here. And therefore, and such a person's prajna is truly said to be established, as opposed to the first one. First one's prajna capsizes like a boat, goes under water. This one's prajna stays. Now there are a couple of very important verses towards the close of the chapter. Let us chant. Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam,
Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam,
Tasyam Jagarti Sanyami,
Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami,
Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani,
Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani,
Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehe,
Sa Nisha Pashyato Mune.
A little bit of a cryptic, but very deep, profound verse. Nisha means night. Ya Nisha, that which is night. Sarva Bhutana, for all the beings. Tasya, in that night, Jagarti is awake. Sanyami, the Jnani. Oh, I never knew that the Jnani was a night owl. I never thought like a bat or like a robber. Many robbers stay awake at night because that is their working hours. Now they work from 10 in the night to 4 in the morning. That is their office hours. So maybe the Jnani is like one of these robbers, or maybe the Jnani is like owl, bat, cockroach and other things that are active in the night. No, this is very, very metaphoric. What is night? Darkness. Darkness means the tamas. And what is tamas? Ignorance. What kind of ignorance? Self-ignorance. What other kind is there? In these halls, no other kind of ignorance is going to be talked about. Self-ignorance. So, to that reality of oneself as whole, free, limitless, glorious, without needing any prop, to that reality into which all the beings are what? Fast asleep, snoring. The Jnani is awake to that reality. So beautiful. Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutana, that which is night to all beings. The night of self-ignorance. And so people are asleep, sleeping the sleep of self-ignorance because they are not awakened to the truth, the reality of themselves as free, whole, of the nature of Bhagavan, that oneness between oneself and Ishvara, which is always craved for and which culminates in sad songs. Darshan kab doge? When will you give darshan? Why are you playing hide and seek with me, oh Krishna? This is how people sing. And and there is a yearning of the bhakta, a painful yearning, because one feels far away from Bhagavan. Maybe that's why it's called sat and sang, sat, sang, sad, sang. The sad one sat and sang. But really, here there is no union. Union is not possible. Why? Because one is stuck in the role of and in the ajnanam of the idea that I am separate from you. Oh Goddess, oh Lord, you are somewhere. Don't torment me. Don't be far away from me. Show me your face. Bhagavan just needs a cough drop, I tell you, because Bhagavan has shouted hoarse, saying, I am sitting in your heart, just look. All you have to do is give some cough drop. Because we are not able to hear that. Why? What is the answer? Raga Dvesha. Anything I ask, answer is Raga Dvesha. Yeah. Any question. Why can't we hear Bhagavan shouting in the heart? Raga Dvesha. That's why the Raga Dvesha is like a thick forest covering the sounds that may come. So that forest of Raga Dvesha needs to be pruned, right? Some space must be there to have that darshan. And here is a person who is awakened to the reality. What is the reality? Drashta, seer, darshanam, the seeing. And the object of sight, drishya, are one and the same. This is the reality. How can they be one and the same? Because it's that same non-dual awareness, consciousness, Brahman, that morphs as the drashta, seer. And again, there is no time elapsing, that morphs as the seeing, drishya, and morphs as the means of knowledge that connects the seer and the seen, which is what? Sight. Same thing. Knower, known, means of knowledge. Seer, seen, sight. What else? Hearer, heard, means of hearing. All these things are just one. The content of the hearer, the content of the heard is one and the same consciousness, which is neither hearer nor heard nor the means of hearing, neither knower nor known nor the means of knowing. Why? Because it is everything. But how can it be everything? Because it is nothing in particular. That's why it is everything. It's nothing in particular. It upholds everything because it is not one thing in particular. If it was any one thing in particular, it would be what? Limited. But here it is limitless, infinite, whole, I. And that I is the truth of this universe. Unto this reality, I am awake. And what is that reality? In which there is a lot of snoring happening. All the beings are collectively asleep. Collective snoring. Sleeping is ajnanam, snoring is what is called anyatha jnanam, complaints, all kinds of things. Ya Nisha, that which is night for all the beings, unto which reality of the self, as free, as whole, as the only thing that there is, and it is me, it is Ishvara, there is no difference between the two. Unto that reality, all the beings except the Jnani fast asleep. Then, Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani, unto that everyday reality of strife, conflict. No, this is mine, give me. Come close and I will hit you. Come any closer and then I will complain to the police. This is my property, get out. And then I want this. I saw this first, it is mine. This is the reality where everybody is awake. Everybody is awake to that reality. Most of the people. Even after going out of Vedanta class and putting on the slippers, what happens? This reality is what preponderates, predominates suddenly. And so, this is what is called the twofold reality, Vyavaharika Satta, the everyday empirical reality of divisions. And over that there is a wash, like a varnish, a paint coat of Raga Dveshas. Yeah, I told you, even after telling the answer, it doesn't come. There is a paint coat of Raga and Dvesha. This is one's own personal projection. So first is Ishvara's projection in the form of each body is different from any other bodies and each thing is different from another thing, okay? But Ishvara's projection has no power. Ishvara Srishti has no power to cause sorrow. It does not. Why? Because it simply is. So why am I sad? Because of? Yes, thank you. Abba. Very nice. So, because of Raga Dvesha. And that coloring, that Raga Dvesha wash is my own contribution. And because of that, Ishvara's Srishti, which is free of everything, which is whole, just like Ishvara, which is Satchidananda Lakshana, just like Ishvara. Remember, we have seen the effect has the stamp of the cause. The effect is non-separate from cause. And so, it is just nothing but Ishvara. And then, over that, the Raga Dvesha paint makes it seem like, oh, this reality is out to get me. Oh no, this one hates me, that one wants something from me. This one doesn't love me, and in fact, I also don't like myself that much. All these confusions. I am no good. I will never be amount to anything. I can never become accomplished. All these things. I am a bad person. And see, so many ragas, dveshas, and even if I think I will drop one raga and one dvesha every day, still so many ragas, dveshas will be left. Like this, all this is called one's own personal projection. Personal projection. And that personal projection is the cause of sorrow, and the ingredients, the raw materials of this personal projection are Raga and Dvesha. Strong preferences, strong prejudices make up the paint over which I paint on Ishvara Srishti. It's like a child painting or on a masterpiece. Mona Lisa you give to a child with paint and it will just deface the whole thing. Priceless artifact, it will deface. This is what we do. This is our contribution to Ishvara Srishti. What is that? Distorting it. And then sitting down and crying in a bucket. Where first I distort it and then I am affected by it. It's like sometimes, small children, they just learn how to cry or they learn how to laugh. This is a better example. They learn how to laugh. 1 month old infant or 5-week-old infant, suddenly it will laugh loudly and then it gets scared of itself and then it will begin to cry. They scare themselves. So we scare ourselves when we throw the Raga Dveshas onto Ishvara Srishti and then the whole Srishti, the whole universe looks demonic. Who has done it? Me, myself. And then I sit and cry and I sit and get scared and I get upset. This is the reality into which, unfortunately, this is the reality in which all the beings are awake. the reality of division, the reality of duality, two kinds of duality, Ishvara's duality and over that the interface, the filter of my own duality. And to that most of the people are awake. Now what is the jnani doing? Fast asleep. Doesn't even know that this reality exists. Is not at all interested in the workings of this reality. And so, tasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe, for the seeing sage, for the jnani, for the rishi, for the mananashilaha. Munihi means mananashilaha, the contemplative sage. For her or for him, this is the reality where you just go to sleep. It's like Hanumanji on Arjuna's flag during the war. Which war? Mahabharata war. Hanumanji is Chiranjeevi, means he never dies, he is always there. They say if you look for him, he will show up. And so he agreed to grace the flag of Arjuna. And then he was there, sitting on top of the chariot. And he found the whole war very boring. Because he had survived the Ramayana war between Rama and Ravana. And here there were all these mantra-powered missiles and all these, flim-flam and high-tech war of Dwapara Yuga. He said, what is this? This is very boring. Nothing surprising happens. This person's name is written on the missile and it goes and hits him. What is exciting in this? Nothing. It's most boring. He just fell asleep. Most of the time he was sleeping. Then afterwards they woke him up and asked, how was the battle? Pandavas asked, how was the battle? And he said, Rama Ravanayoho Yuddham, Rama Ravanayoho Yuddham Iva. The battle between Rama and Ravana is comparable to ... the battle between Rama and Ravana. Means there is no such thing, no comparison. There exciting things happen. One Asura would be taken in one hand by Lakshmana, and then he would look for something and to off this Asura. Not finding anything, he would take another Asura and bash both their ends together and throw them on the side and walk. This was exciting. This was fun for Hanumanji. So like that, the jnani is not interested in the everyday humdrum. Oh hum means it's very boring. Because jnani's journey has been from Boham to Soham. Yes, so Boham is not interested. Humdrum, boring. Isme kya hai? What is there in this? Nothing exciting. Because it's not because the jnani has suddenly become very picky, like a person used to 5-star dining, many courses, and then you invite such a person home and give them dal, rice and sabji. They will say, oh, this is nothing. Not like that. Not because the palate has become very picky. No. Then why is this boredom? Why is this humdrum? It's because everything the jnani has seen there, been there, done that, it is no longer exciting. Why? Because the reason for which it was exciting is been completed. That is the life's journey to gain this knowledge and enjoy one's glory as full, free, limitless Brahman, Ishvara. What is more exciting than being Ishvara? Nothing. Nothing is more exciting than being Ishvara, and so therefore the jnani is bored of all these things. Bored of the pani puris, bored of pakodas, bored of any puris, bhel puri, this puri, that puri, everything is just, been there, done that. He It's just like a little, you know how an adult will go into the children's, what is that called? Merry-go-round. Adult will not have fun, the child will have fun. The adult has outgrown that. For the child it is something new and exciting. So here the jnani is emotionally matured, mentally stable, and the mind is free of raga, happy, contented, and fully with oneself. So therefore, there is no reason to do anything. The jnani will still do, because as we'll see in the next chapter, because of prarabdha. Some jnanis just sit in a cave and don't even come out, and certain other jnanis go around the world and do things to help others, mainly because of the prarabdha, no other reason. Very beautiful verse. And this is Adi Shankara gives a very long commentary, because in his time they were proponents of jnanam, how knowledge is to be achieved. Some people erroneously thought that knowledge is achieved little bit of jnana, little bit of karma. So this is called jnana karma samuchaya vada, and this is what he cuts through. He says no, because the problem is what? I don't know. That's why it is like night to me. And into which reality I am awake? I am constantly frightened. It is just completely flummoxing me. It is totally taking me for a ride. And so that reality I am afraid of. I know there must be some other reality, and that reality happens to be myself, which I have to gain through knowledge, and after some preparation and after mastering the raga dveshas, then only I become eligible for this knowledge. And so Adi Shankara refutes everything and says that even for this jnani there is no injunctions anymore. Vedic injunctions, get up at 4 o'clock, do yajna, no. And there is one Shukashtakam, an octet, 8 verses on Vyasa's son Shuka, an enlightened being. And the last line of Shukashtakam is what? O vidhi, o nishedha. What injunctions? What prohibitions? The person is not adharmic. The dharma has become that person. Nothing is away from that person. The person no longer says, this is mine, this is not mine. The person says, all this is me alone. This is me. What is the Jagat? An extension of me. What are the people? Extension of me. And if it's an extension of me, there is no craving, because it's already me. And so this is what Adi Shankara establishes and says that the jnani, for the jnani, even Tattvamasi Mahavakya becomes what? Aparavidya. It was Paravidya when that knowledge was being gained, and after that, that pramana, that pramana is useless. Why? Because I already have the knowledge. The Vedas are not of much use. Even Vedanta is not of much use. In the 10th chapter of a text called Panchadashi, there is towards the end, there is a verse that says, please throw away all the books of Vedanta. All the Upanishad books, all the Gita books, of course Sanskritam books, because Sanskritam is for Vedanta, please throw away. Whenever I teach that chapter, I have to remind the people, we are not there yet. Okay, we are not there yet. But we can appreciate the concept of it very nicely given here. Next one. Apuryamanamachala pratishtham Samudramapah pravishanti yadvat Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve
सर्वे
स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी
शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी
आपूर्यमाणं filled up to the brim. Apuryamana, filled up to the brim. Ajala pratishtham, unmoving. Samudraha. Samudraha means ocean. So what is the ocean like? The ocean is described in two ways here. One is, it is always full. You don't find half an ocean. You don't find quarter ocean. You find always filled ocean, full. Fullness is there. It is filled to the brim with water. Then the next adjective is ajala pratishtham, meaning it is not moving like a river or a creek or a brook. It is not moving from one place to another. Why? Because it has everything within itself. It doesn't need to move. It is stationary. Stationary means, of course, it will be waves and all, but that's not the example. The example is, unlike a nadi, river, unlike the Ganga, it is just in one place. Apuryamadam, filled up to the brim, not going from place to place. Ajala pratishtham. Samudra, this samudra. What happens to this samudra? Apaha pravishanti. All the waters enter. What kind of waters? Rain water enters from above, and then from this side some rivers join, that side some other rivers join. So what happens to the ocean? Does it overflow? No. And supposing there are no rains and the river dries up and the rivers don't join, does it become less? No. It is the same. Tadvat, in the same manner, kamaha. Kamaha should not be taken as desires, desirable objects. Kamyante iti kamaha. So, desirable objects. In the same way, all kinds of objects of desire, pravishanti, enter, all of them, sarve. Whom do they enter? The jnani, the sthita prajna. Sthita pragyam pravishanti. So the sthita prajna is not sitting somewhere in a vacuum, has not taken a rocket to space where there is no objects of desire. Sthita prajna is in the world, but not of the world. Free of the world, but living in the world. And all the objects of desire enter because the eyes are open. Sthita prajna sees, sthita prajna tastes, sthita prajna hears, sthita prajna touches, everything. It's as though through the sense organs, all the objects of desire enter without creating even the slightest ruffle, slightest disturbance in the jnana. The jnani doesn't feel extra full. Oh, I have fulfilled my desires for today, so I am really happy. No. Oh, today was a bad day. No catch, no kill, no eat, and so I am sad. No. Nothing like that. Say, regardless of praise, so many people, rivers coming in means so much praise is coming in. Oh, you are the best, east or west. And please come here, give a talk. And then if somebody else is told that, person cannot handle it. Oh, they asked me to give a talk, how wonderful, great. Not that you should feel happy, but we are talking of overly getting, destabilized, to the extent of being destabilized. That is not the idea. And so, therefore, here there is a person who is so full, and that fullness is described because that person is of a giving nature, does not want to hold, is able to let go. That fullness and letting go hold together, does not want to hold. The Kathopanishad will describe the Jnani as one nakaschit gopayitum ichchati, the one who does not desire to protect anything. Nothing is to be protected. And so this such is the person we are talking about, as opposed to a miserable pond. What is the pond? It depends, unlike the ocean, it depends on the rain, water, it depends on an underground spring for its sustenance. To be called a pond, what should it have? Minimum water it should have. And that water is fed by a spring or fed by rains. Then it is called a pond. Then after that what happens? Let's say lot of buildings came. The city is migrating more and more to the outskirts. It happens. Lots of buildings have come up, and then too many bore wells, the spring dries up and the pond becomes what? Puddle. Thank God nobody said Raga Dvesha. That only answering all the time. Pond becomes puddle. A sad little puddle. Not even enough for children to play in, that sad little muddy, sludgy puddle. And then of course it will have a small ego, of course it will feel sad, of course it will say, what's wrong with me, why me, why is this happening? And the next year, Bhagavan heard the ponds cry, and Bhagavan sent so much rains that the pond was still not seen, because everywhere, water everywhere, where is the pond? Nobody even knows where the pond is. And again the pond starts to ponder on its fate. Why me? Why is this happening to me? And so unlike the pond is Ajnani and the ocean is Jnani. Very beautiful metaphor. Then, Vihaya kamanyas sarvan Puhamshcharati nispraha Nirmamo nirahankaraha Shantimadhigacchati Esha brahmi sthitih partha Nainam prapya vimuhyati Sthitva syamantakaalepi Brahma nirvanam richati Vihaya, having thrown to the winds, giving up, Kaman, all the desires, Yaha, the one who, Sarvan, all the desires, Sarvan, Kaman, Vihaya, Yaha, Puman, Charati, the person who remains steadfast in the knowledge and throws to the winds all objects of desires and all desires themselves, Nisprihaha, untouched, desireless, untouched by anything. Nirmamaha, this is mine, this is not yet mine, that mentality is not there. Nirahankaraha, without ahankara. Ahankara here doesn't mean the ahankara is lost. It is lightened of the burden that I am only as good as the body, I am only as good as the mind, I am only as good as what I have. Sometimes people define themselves by what they don't have. I am what I don't have. People say this. I don't have any money. I am poor. That means I don't have money. I am sick. I don't have health. I am bald. I don't have hair. This is how people define themselves. By lack and by want. And so this is not the person of knowledge here. The person is nisprihaha. is not interested in anything. Nirahankara, that identity of I has joined hands with Brahman, so to speak. Not that Brahman has hands. Today we saw Brahman does not have hands, no legs. Apani padam tat Pani padam na vidyete yasya. The one who doesn't have hands and legs, that is Brahman. So hand in hand with Brahman, don't imagine somebody with hand. This is just a metaphor. Okay? So, as though the person's identity is firmly rooted in Brahman and not in anything else. Nirahankara. So, I am everything you can say, or you can say I am nothing. There are two ways of dealing with the Ahankara. Either you blow it up like a balloon to include all the galaxies. That is me. What is our galaxy's name? Milky Way is me. What is the galaxy next to us? Andromeda is me. Any other Veda, that is also me. Everything is me. So the Ahankara is becoming bigger, bigger, bigger. And if you keep blowing into the balloon, what will happen? Yes, finished. Or you can say, nothing is me, nothing is me, nothing is me, nothing is me, nothing is me. Then also what? Finished. And again, it's the same thing. There are two ways of going about this. Everything is me, nothing is me. So everything is Ishvara. This is what the Sri Rudram does. The Chamakam, nothing is me. It is all Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. It is you, it is you, it is you, it is not me. This is also you, that is also you, it is not me. Then the Chamakam, this is all me, this is me, that is me, everything is me. Both those techniques are used in the Sri Rudra and the Chamakam. Very beautiful. So, Nirahankara Sashantim Adhigachati. Adhigachati means gains one's nature as tranquil and happy. Esha, I'll take 5 minutes to finish this, okay? Yeah. Esha Brahmi Sthiti. Sthiti means literally a state, but here we are not talking of a state like Samadhi. Samadhi is a state because you go in and come out. Here there is no coming out. Yadgatva nivartante tadhama paramam mama. This is Bhagavad gives the address. In the 15th chapter, Lord Krishna gives his address. Where the sun does not shine, where the moon does not shine, where there is no lightning, nothing. Oh my God, very dark place. And on top of that, Yadgatva na nivartante. Going there, there is no return. Oh, it's not a scary place, it's actually self-lit by the light of one's own existence. I am, I know. That is the Jyotihi. Jyotisham Jyotihi, the light of all lights, in whose light everything becomes evident, which itself does not need to be lit. This is the knowledge called Brahmi Sthiti. Sthiti is again metaphorical. This is you can't translate it into state of Brahman. It is steady knowledge in Brahman. Jnana Nishtha. This Nishtha, steady knowledge in Brahman is talked about. Esha, this is what is called steady knowledge in Brahman. What is this? That which has been talked about all this time. What we have been studying all this time in the Sthita Prajna section, that is what is called complete and full knowledge of Brahman as Brahman. Na enam prapya vimuhyati. If anybody is thinking, I'm working so hard to get this knowledge, but then just like other times, I think I know, I'm happy, yes, I have equanimity. And then what? Oh, suddenly I don't feel so good. Some monsters of the mind and emotional monsters have come back to catch me. This will never happen, Arjuna. Once you gain steadfastness in this knowledge, it is a point of no return, there is no coming back, there is no doubt, there is no despondency, no fear, no despair. And then so what? When is the correct time to study? even if you get in the last minute of your life, you will be free. No need to come back. Let's say a person is on the deathbed and is saying, yeah, I should have studied more. And what was the teacher saying? Tattvamasi, oh my God, I see this. Yes, dies. Even then, the person doesn't need to come back. Even at stitva asyam antakalepi, even in the last moment of your life, you are established in this knowledge. Your journey is done. You don't have to do this. B for Vedanta, A for Atma, B for Brahman. No more. C for Chit, D for Dharma. You don't have to do this anymore. You are done. You are free. You are whole. And on this upbeat note, the second chapter comes to a close. Now, the second chapter, does it have the vision of the Atma? Yes. Does it have the way of life, of what kind of a life to live to gain this vision? Yes. Is the knowledge complete? Yes. So the Bhagavad Gita should have ended in the second chapter itself. But it does not. Why? Arjuna has a question. Arjuna's question is making the Bhagavad Gita longer, so that we have to come back tomorrow to see what Arjuna's question is and what he is asking and what Lord Krishna will tell us. That is why there is the third chapter, even though it is complete. Om Tat Sat.
Om Tat Sat.
Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu.
Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu.
Upanishatsu.
Upanishatsu.
Brahma Vidyayam.
Brahma Vidyayam.
Yoga Shastre.
Yoga Shastre.
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade.
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade.
Sankhya Yogo Nama.
Sankhya Yogo Nama.
Vidiyodhyayah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate